for the shot. Certainly got some ball, but clearly got that right wrist.
Oh, boy, now we're talking wrist, hand. I'm not sure, but either way, he's on the free throw line.
I can only imagine if you was coaching on the other side, you'd want that call.
Of course, you want every call.
James hits the first. All the NBA Finals games will be on ABC. Game 2 will be Sunday back here in San Antonio, 8 Eastern time start. And then Tuesday and next Thursday in Miami, 9 Eastern time start. And then again, as we said, it's 2-2-1-1-1 for the Finals this year.
You know what I like? I like that they have 2 days in between a possible game 6 and 7 to allow what are going to be banged up, tired athletes to recover more and play their best in an ultimate game.
Splitter puts it on the floor. Ginobili finds Splitter. Touch pass to Diaw, broken up by Cole, and the Heat very active hands here in the first quarter.
This is the lineup where Pop prefers Boris Diaw to be the primary defender on LeBron James. Pick and roll forces a switch, but he loves to see Diaw as a secondary defender after Leonard.
James misses that. Diaw the rebound. Diaw has had what Greg Popovich said, his best season here at San Antonio. He had a great game in the clincher against OKC. Nice pass, Splitter inside on a bullet feed from Ginobili.
What a look away by Ginobili. Drew the Heat defense out of the paint by looking to the high post, threaded the needle to Splitter on the roll.
James to Anderson. Green was right there to help knock it away. Patty Mills, good hustle play, now pushes. Ginobili again. Green tips it out to Diaw.
Right now, Ginobili is creating all sorts of problems for this Heat defense.
Ginobili fakes out to Mills for 3. It's good. 4 of 6 from downtown San Antonio here in the first quarter.
Can I quote Charles Barkley right now? Ginobili!
9 points, 3 assists, 2 steals in just 6 minutes of work. On James. James puts his head down, flips up a wild shot, nearly goes in. Second effort won't go, and a 24-second violation.
And I thought his arm got grabbed on the initial shot on the drive to the basket.
Go to James.
Well, he got by Diaw. Maybe not. I like that non-call after looking at it.
We're liking a lot of things here in the first quarter.
You watching this game? This is great basketball. The toughness of both teams, the humility of both teams.
Well, last year during the finals, 7 games, not one technical foul the entire 7 games. Ginobili, coast to coast, misses. And the rebound goes to Battier. And these two teams have so much respect for each other, and that does not diminish how they want to take each other's heads off in terms of winning the series.
Well, you can respect each other, but then you can compete at an extremely high level where it's physical.
Diaw with the block, and the Spurs bench, some excellent play. And they give the block to Splitter. Shot clock turned off. Ginobili, Danny Green, the fake, puts up a 3. And the first quarter comes to an end. Talk about a spark off the bench. He's been doing it for 12 years in the NBA. And what a start for Ginobili. 3 for 4 from downtown. 3 assists, a couple of steals. And after one here in game 1, the Spurs on top by 6.
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's page 111, and it's a super big book.
More brake, more brake, more brake, brake.
So just put back on the brake. Okay.
It's an amazing day. I got my driver's license.
I'm getting my paper
Which actually gives us 36.
Good job, brother.
Okay, you ready? I got a job.
I got accepted?
What do you say?
Yes!
Boring! If you want to see your faithful,
You're such a couch potato.
Yeah, just go check out the thing for yourself.
I got no for boring. There's burning, no, we ain't got no for boring. For boring, we ain't got no.
The 2014 Highlander. Toyota.
Let's go places!
Is your morning trying to tell you something? Maybe we should have gotten him one. Sweet, creamy, iced coffee from McDonald's. Another reason to love McCafe.
I'm fixing to get into a pretty good gunfight.
They shot me.
We're all shot, bro. Can you fight?
I can fight. Let's go.
You can die for your country. I'm gonna live for mine.
Lone Survivor. Own it now. Universal is a proud donor to the Lone Survivor Fund.
Welcome to the 1984 NBA Draft.
It was a great draft.
Standing ovation for the number 3 pick in the NBA draft.
Anytime you're going to have Michael Jordan, your draft status just went up as a whole.
The draft was top heavy with great players, but there were also some good players deeper in the draft.
I don't think I could have landed a better spot.
To have 5 Hall of Famers from one class is virtually unprecedented.
I don't know if you'll ever see another draft like this ever.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for game-changing traction inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Second quarter set to begin in San Antonio, game 1 of the finals. Heat trailing by 6. Moments ago, Doris Burke with Eric Spoelstra.
Mike, thank you. Manu Ginobili affecting this game with his aggression. How would you like to see him defended?
Well, a couple of long threes. Not that we're okay with it, but it's the pick and rolls, really, that he's creating some opportunities for them. We have to tighten that up. And we've had some empty possessions offensively.
Aside from the turnovers, what would you like to see on the offensive end?
I don't mind the attack, and the ball movement has been okay, but the turnovers have been very empty for us.
Eric, thank you. Mike.
All right, Doris, both teams turning the ball over far more than they certainly had hoped. 6 turnovers for San Antonio and 5 for Miami.
Some of it is great defense, though. Active hands, rotations, clean and crisp. It's not bad offense.
Anderson goes for the steal, and Splitter misses the layup. And a late whistle, but a foul, and Shane Battier knew it. No, Splitter's going to go to the line as Battier picks up his first. And Splitter, the 4th-year man from Brazil, who played a lot of his pro ball over in Europe for 7 years, played in Spain, was the MVP of the Spanish League. And now it's 4th year, each year getting a little bit better. Greg Popovich loves how good he is defensively, rebounding. He's added a little bit to his offensive game.
He's a guy that can finish at the rim, does a great job of catching the basketball. We watched earlier the big pass with Duncan, plays off of Duncan so well, and he's a tough competitor on the defensive end.
Mike, their record of drafting international players is so good. I mean, R.C. Buford, from 99 on, had it knocked out on. I mean, they drafted Goran Dragic, who just made an All-NBA team, in the 2nd round. I mean, it's one after another.
Paul puts it up. That's good. And the thing is, since Duncan came here in 97, they have not had a lottery pick since 97.
They haven't had a pick in the teens. They've been 20 and below.
The lowest pick that they have on their team right now, besides Duncan, obviously, is Kawhi Leonard, who was selected 15th.
Time and time again, they've done an incredible job of putting guys around Duncan, Parker, Ginobili. Exceptional job of identifying the right guys, and then those guys fitting this system.
And Mike, you mentioned the Kawhi Leonard trade. To me, with all the other things that have happened as as Ray Allen loses Patty Mills and doesn't stay attached to his body, it was that Kawhi Leonard trade for George Hill that vaulted them back in to real contention.
Leonard's such an excellent two-way player and still learning. Nice feed, splitter. Blocked by Anderson. Right to Patty Mills. And Patty Mills has had a nice year for a little point guard out of Australia.
And also guys understanding their roles. Patty Mills wasn't a factor last year. Corey Joseph was the guy playing backup minutes for them. He waited his opportunity, he stayed ready, and he's had a big year for them. And certainly played big in the playoffs.
Way to the basket. And a foul. A splitter met him at the rim. And Wade will go to the line for the first time. Also joining us throughout these finals and was with us in the Eastern Conference Finals, Steve Javie, our referee expert, 25 years in the NBA, 23 NBA Finals games officiated. Steve, you get to the finals. This is a huge deal for these guys to be here. We mentioned about the technical fouls. None last year in the finals. At this point, do you give players a little more rope when you get to the finals?
Well, sometimes you do, Mike, especially on the second technical foul. First one, not really. But these two teams respect each other. Now, I know the referees, as they're talking today during the pregame, they're talking about how these teams respect each other, and they know that they don't have any nonsense off the ball or substitutes that come in to create havoc. So it's two good teams to work, because that's obviously they're the two best teams playing right now.
And Dwayne Wade was just telling us that yesterday, how it's refreshing just to go play and think about basketball and not the off-the-court remarks and the bulletin board stuff that sometimes goes on. Thank you, Steve.
Well, that was what's so funny. Everybody trying to make something after Tim Duncan said he wanted to play them again as Bellinelli drives it hard and gets fouled. If that's bulletin board material, then they need a new bulletin board.
Duncan said, we're glad to get back to the finals. We're going to do it this time. And that was considered taunting. I thought Wade had the best remark of that. He says, we're having microphones put in our face way too much.
You know, what's refreshing to me is that we have Steve Javie, because the last time I was here with you guys, Mike was the refereeing expert.
You know, a lot has changed since you left. And when you asked Steve if he gave more rope, are you kidding me? Steve didn't give rope.
Well,
ever.
Mark, I thought the refereeing expert was Van Gundy, not Mike.
Free throws give San Antonio back up by 3. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the second. Danny Green on Wade. Wade, and ball above the cylinder when Anderson knocked it away, so offensive interference. Let's listen to what Greg Popovich on it.
This is the finals. We're playing the NBA champion. We want what they have. That means we can't turn it over. It means we can't let up for a second, physicality-wise, either on the board or on our offense. Nothing can be lazy. Every cut, every screen, every curl, everything's got to be strong. All right? We're going to pick it up now. Let's be ready for it.
5 to shoot. Parker falls down, gets it back, finds it, the splitter. Misfires, and Bosch the rebound.
That's great advice from Pop. Coaches, you know, as you get deeper and deeper into the playoffs, there are things that you can no longer get away with that you got away with in the previous series.
There's no question. You got to play every possession.
Cole turns it over. Then Danny Green turns it right back. Ray Allen wide open in that right corner. And nails the three-pointer. We're all tied at 31. Interesting, Pop admitting he's nervous before game 1. We've been through so many huge games. Bellinelli gets back at 3. First year for Bellinelli in San Antonio. He's been a nice fit.
Came off an outstanding year in Chicago. Chicago chose not to re-sign him. And Miami, a 5-second count after a made basket. Inexcusable.
Well, the turnovers, 8 now for the Heat, 7 for the Spurs. And we're going to take a timeout.
No, it's not a turnover. It's a turnover. It's a 5-second call.
So they will take
Right.
the timeout.
My fault, Mike.
Well, things have changed. You owning up to a mistake.
Oi, filho. Tudo bem?
E aí, cabeça?
Hoje é um dia importante, como sempre foi na nossa vida. É importante que você não se preocupe.
Won't you follow me into the jungle? My streets, the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Won't you follow me into the jungle?
Vai com Deus te abençoe. Te amo, tá?
No matter the risk, you live, you fight as brothers. Remember, nothing is as strong as family.
No, chill. It's just a mask. See? Don't freak out.
This film is not yet rated.
The Nissan Pathfinder with intuitive four-wheel drive. An adventure worth sharing. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Big balls! Big balls! Big 2-hour premiere! Wipeout premieres June 22nd at an early time, 7/6 Central on ABC.
I'm a judge on Rising Star.
I'm a judge on Rising Star.
I'm a judge.
I'm a judge. I'm a judge on Rising Star.
If I like you,
Like you.
like you,
If I like you, I can make you a star.
TV's first interactive music competition, Rising Star, premieres Sunday, June 22nd on ABC.
LeBron James has been magnificent in the playoffs, but he did have Game 5 against Indiana where he was in foul trouble. They lost, and James had career lows throughout. And he was criticized for his performance, but his toughest critic came the next day.
After I came home from Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals this year, obviously we got home late from Indiana, and so I got up. It was a late day. I was in the kitchen about to eat, and my oldest son comes to me and say, 7 points, 5 fouls. He just walked away. I said, you better get away from me right now. That's exactly what he said. He wasn't like nothing else. He was like, 7 points, really? You only had 7 points and 5 fouls? He's like, I could do that in my sleep.
Boy, tough at home. Duck it up top to Parker. Parker the floater. By the way, a shot from Norris Cole that was originally given a 3. They changed to a 2. That's why the difference in score coming back from the timeout. Spurs up by 6.
But that's what you need. People that at home that's willing to tell you the truth.
There are more free throws for Miami.
Well, I got more than one telling me the truth. So.
Tim Duncan with the foul here. The eyes of Duncan never touched him.
Mark Davis called it with the hand on his body.
Duncan now trying to put Scott Paulson. He's the crew chief, I believe, tonight.
I wonder if the crew chief makes more money.
That's a good question. Steve Javie, does the crew chief make more money?
Now, Mike, the crew chief doesn't make more money. He just gets more money for the round that you go into. But everybody has the same responsibilities and gets paid the same for this game.
With just a tiny Parker inside, misses and Bosch the rebound.
It's like you don't get any more for being the voice of the NBA. You're just, you know.
You don't want to go down this.
Right, Mark?
Amen.
All right.
Duncan took a tumble. 3-point lead for San Antonio. Duncan double, trying to slice between two defenders. Stroud wanted a foul. Bosch for three. Bosch has really made that such a huge part of his game. It has become a lethal three-point shooter. He'd have scored 6 straight. Bosch is shooting 41% from downtown in the playoffs. Ginobili, and that's Chalmers' 3rd foul.
And it's a tough cover for Chalmers because he's rotating down to protect on the pick and roll, and then he has to close to a guy who's already made 3 threes. So this is a long closeout. He takes a good angle, but Ginobili does a good job seeking the body and contact to draw the 3rd foul.
Well, Chalmers will sit Norris Cole back in. Cole had some very big minutes in the conference final against Indiana and had 3 straight games when he played the entire 4th quarter. Normally that's the spot for Chalmers.
Remember last year, Cole did not play as Ginobili misses a 3. Cole did not play in game 6 or 7.
Wade finds an opening. Nice shot from Wade. It was 5 of 8 from the field, and Greg Popovich calls timeout as Miami on an 8-0 run has regained the lead.
One of the things Dwayne Wade is doing, he's forcing Manu Ginobili to defend him. Every time he sees him on him, he's in attack mode, full attack mode, and a great job of recognizing and not allowing him just to play one way. Uses the body, shields it, and then easy laying off the glass. How about this? Old school D Wade. We've seen this before. Outstanding job of finishing. Heat 6 for 6 from the field in the 2nd quarter.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Introducing the Samsung Galaxy S5. Buy a Galaxy S5 for $0 down and get a free Galaxy Tab free when you sign up for a Sprint family plan.
The Nissan Pathfinder with intuitive 4-wheel drive. Adventure worth sharing. Nissan, innovation that excites.
That Lambo okay right there, right? It's my car.
Las Vegas. It's the ultimate playground.
For one night, we are free from all of our obligations, all of our responsibilities.
But on June 20th, it'll become
I don't know why women can't have just as much fun as men.
the ultimate battleground.
I was determined for the guys to have a better time than the girls.
There's a couple of spots I can't reach.
Sweetie, sit down. Let me show you how it's right here.
no.
Because with my hands, I'm sorry, did you just spit at me?
Think like a man suit, rated PG-13.
Time for tonight's excitement, brought to you by Nissan. It's all about Dwayne Wade.
Putting on a clinic early on. How about this dream move? Sells it, Duncan flies by, and the easy lands. The runner, the floater, he's mastered that. And I love in transition as he gets the roll on this one. Sees one guy and it's, can I have this dance? The spin move and the easy use of the glass. Dwayne Wade has taken over this basketball game, but it's not foreign to him. We've seen his work before.
And look at his numbers, not just in 06 when he was the finals MVP and single-handedly turned that series around. He has played so well in all the finals, looking for his 4th title in 11 years. Last year he had the knee problems. This year he missed 28 games. They really had him a rest throughout the course of the season. Made sure he was healthy before they started playing him big minutes. And boy, has it paid off in the conference finals and so far tonight. Taking almost a San Antonio Spurs caution approach that Popovich is so known for. Ginobili the fake and layup. He got hit for Rashard Lewis.
But to go back to those numbers, Mike, I love the fact that we have the ability to do that. Because you can look at Dwayne Wade today, or Ginobili today, or Parker, or Duncan, and you can almost forget how great these guys have been for so long. This guy averaged 35 in the finals. Against a great team.
He had 2 40-point games in the finals against the Mavericks. You know, Mark, you bring up a good point when we talk so much about the Spurs' unselfishness and their passing. Miami's the same way. It's the same formula. Their stars are as unselfish as anybody.
And they do it in a different style because they got 2 home run hitters in their lineup. But they certainly trust each other, and it starts with their star players truly being unselfish.
Parker once again gets it in the paint. He's got 6. And San Antonio back up by 2. He is a magician in the lane. Leonard back in on James. Leonard picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. Hole tied up, deflected by Leonard. James took a bit of a shot. There's 6 to shoot now for Miami.
San Antonio going to a little zone right here.
Bosch feed inside to Lewis. Ginobili right there to greet him and forced up a quick bad shot. Diaw on the drive. Inside to Duncan. Another beautiful setup, and the Spurs now on a 6-0 run.
Boris Diaw is such a gifted passer, Mike. You don't find many bigs who can go on the dribble and then pass off the dribble. Diaw, outstanding offensive versatility. Here, attacking the closeout, draws Bosch to him, and drops it off to Tim Duncan. Another big-to-big pass that leads to a dunk.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Finals on ABC, brought to you by Guardians of the Galaxy. The Marvel Universe expands. In theaters everywhere August 1st. Nissan, innovation that excites. And Sherwin-Williams, make the most of your color with the very best paints. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
We arrested these 5 on Xandar. Apparently they think they can save the galaxy.
What the hell? I look around at us, and I see a thief, 2 thugs, an assassin, and a maniac. But we're not going to stand by as evil wipes out billions of lives. Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Who are you? We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Who?
Forget it.
Guardians of the Galaxy in theaters August 1st.
The Nissan Pathfinder with intuitive four-wheel drive. An adventure worth sharing. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Remember when we were young and only just begun, counting colors in the sun and naming everyone. There's a rainbow in you, and all the colors flying.
Honestly, the offseason isn't really off for me. I've got a lot to do. That's why I got my Surface. It's great for watching the game film and drawing up plays. It's got OneNote, so I can stay on top of my to-do list, which has been absolutely absurd since the beginning. With Skype, it's just really easy to stay in touch with the kids I work with.
All right, Russ, you're good to go.
All right, fellas.
All right, Russ.
Back to work.
NBA Finals continue Sunday night on ABC. Coverage from San Antonio will begin 7:30 Eastern with NBA Countdown. Tip-off for Game 2 shortly after 8 Eastern. Game 2 of the 2014 NBA Finals. Well, here in Game 1, LeBron James wearing a mic for us, and he talked with his fellow future Hall of Famer.
Me and you hug, yeah. I just get a media something to talk about. Because they ain't got nothing else to talk about.
James referencing how he spoke how the Spurs hated the Miami Heat or didn't like them before Game 1. And again, without the trash talking, anything like that turns into a story.
Well, you're searching for something to talk about. And anytime you give us something, we're going to work it. But I love the respect that they have for each other. Incredible amount of respect that they have for each other and each other's team.
Ray Allen, again, from downtown. He's 3 for 3, 10 points off the bench. By the way, if you've noticed I don't know if you can tell at home, noticing in the stands, the fans are fanning themselves as Bellinelli knocks down the three. The air conditioning in the building has apparently malfunctioned. It is so hot in this place right now, and certainly would have an impact on the players.
Wet spots on the floor. And I'm saying I might have to take an IV at half. That's just me.
As Boschman says, this is like the old Boston Garden when it was 100 degrees.
You remember the Lakers, Celtics back then when it was just no air conditioning in that place?
As Parker was fouled. When you look around the building, they all have their programs trying to fan themselves. It is extremely hot. Of all the players I've seen watching the NBA, our good buddy Patrick Ewing, he sweat more than anyone I've ever seen. You're doing a Patrick Ewing impression here in the first half.
It's unbelievable.
You guys have gotten soft. Seriously. I mean, I go away and this is what I come back to?
Well, first of all, that's true. And you say that like it's something to be embarrassed about. I'm not embarrassed about being soft. I like being catered to. I like to have an air-conditioned house.
I like to have an air-conditioned arena. James drives right at Diao. Just barrels his way down.
And Mike, they're guarding him different in this series than we saw last series as Parker tries to flop his way into a foul and it ends up in the turnover. But they're not giving James that big cushion you saw last year. They're picking him up higher to try to stay aggressive, and James is attacking.
And last year, they backed off as he fouled going to the basket, almost daring him to shoot, and it worked until he started knocking him down in Game 7.
Well, it worked, but my problem, Coach, they're closing the airspace, but you've got to have help. You can't allow Boris Diaw or any individual to say, okay, you stop LeBron James on this side one-on-one. He's got to see white jerseys in position to help.
I agree, and the help can't come from Ray Allen, obviously. Still defying Father Time as he's knocking in threes. But you've got to have that ball kicked to Cole and to Rashard Lewis, and even to some extent Chris Bosh, and then run Bosh off the three-point line.
During the finals last year, James hardly got to the free throw line in the first several games. He's taken 4 free throws here in the first half.
And Mike, he got out of his way last year in Game 7 and stopped overthinking it. But the cushion they played with last year was incredible.
Diaw, nice fake, finds Parker. Parker knocks down a 3. He doesn't shoot many threes. He's like Wade. Well, effective there. That's only the 24th three-pointer he's taken in the playoffs. Bosh misses, and how about San Antonio? 7 for 12 from downtown.
But that last defensive trip was pretty good defense. You live with a contested jumper by Parker off the rotation.
Ahead is James underneath it, lays it in. And these teams are not having problems scoring against 2 very good defensive teams.
Great find by Ray Allen.
Diaw up top, Parker. Ginobili for 3. Diaw tips it out, right back to Bellinelli. James is on Duncan. They go over the top. Duncan gets it and finishes. Tim Duncan 5 for 5. He's got 12.
Spurs doing a great job of forcing the Miami Heat to be in rotation, whether it be out of post-up, but the majority of the time it's out of pick and roll. Unselfish basketball, beautiful.
Bosh throws it down as he blew past Duncan. Bosh with 10 points. With both teams shooting a high percentage, Diaw threads the needle. Parker, the mid-range. Boris Diaw, offensive rebound. Finds Duncan for the layup. Boris Diaw, his 3rd assist. And Duncan 6 for 6. Ray Allen. And Bosh the rebound. Allen tries again. And Duncan traveled. He didn't realize it, I don't think, that Norris Cole was the player behind him. And that's 10 turnovers for San Antonio.
Well, Diaw gets the offensive rebound. Duncan open at the free throw line, attack, good use of the left hand. But Boris Diaw, again, he has the ability to find open people in many different ways.
So you guys are kind of a classic team.
Thank you for saying that.
It's true. Did one of you ever feel like you were better than the other one?
No, you know, what you try to do is put everyone in a position to succeed.
Right.
And you need everyone on your team.
But you were better.
Was that what you're saying?
Keep watching NBA Finals.
Coming up, Sprint halftime report with Sage, Jalen, Doug, and Bill, who was the Manu in the big 3 carrying. Doug Collins just let me know when he was playing in the Boston Garden back in 1977, he lost 15 pounds of fluid during the course of one game. It was so hot in the Boston Garden.
You know, not only that, one thing they would do in the Boston Garden, you know, coaches, they turn up the temperature in the locker room also, so it wasn't fair. It wasn't about the court. The locker room was a nightmare.
Yeah, they didn't play fair there as Ray Allen misses his 3rd straight wide open 3. But you're right, they didn't play fair there.
Allen hit his first 3, still with 10 points off the bench. Duncan, pass deflected. Lewis got a piece of it. Ginobili now finds Duncan. Duncan puts it on the floor, running layup, too strong. Ball knocked loose and tracked down by Allen. As we come up on a minute remaining here in the first half.
Well, the Spurs closing out this half. No Tony Parker, so Manu Ginobili will be the primary ball handler on the floor.
Ginobili picks up the foul. That's his first. Spurs not in the penalty. That's the first foul in the last 2 minutes. And look at the field goal percentage. And terrific numbers. Turnovers have kept the scoring down a little bit despite high percentage. Five to shoot. James, pass down low. Bosch has to go to get it. Did he call a timeout, or is it a jump ball? A jump ball.
And this is a rule I just absolutely detest. There's 0.6 seconds left when the jump ball occurs as James goes to the rim, tries to thread the needle to Bosch. But now, for some inexplicable reason, they get 5 seconds. For what sense does that make?
It penalizes the defense in this case. So they put 5 on the clock. Obviously, if San Antonio wins the tip, they get a new 24.
It's like the participation trophies in youth sports.
That has some purpose, you know.
We finally found something I agree with you.
And they have 5 to shoot. Wade drives, finds Bosch, just gets it off in time, won't go.
Here's where the Spurs love to go quick 2 for 1.
Diaw down low to Duncan, and a foul call as Duncan gets knocked to the ground. The Heat in the penalty. Wade picks up his first.
It's a great job by Diaw, turning down the jump shot, delivers the basketball to Duncan, and clearly contact before the catch and going to the line.
Duncan shooting 79% from the line in these playoffs. He's had stretches in his career where he's been up that high. He's had stretches where he's really struggled. Now in his 17th year in the NBA, a magnificent career. First ballot Hall of Famer, trying to win his 5th NBA title. And the respect he gets from all of the Miami Heat players we talked to, you rarely hear that type of reverence from other players. Ball knocked out of bounds.
And I still think it was a mistake this year that Tim Duncan wasn't one of the 3 centers on the All-NBA team. It doesn't make sense.
I agree. It doesn't make sense that LeBron James wasn't unanimous first team All-NBA.
Amen to that, too.
Wade kicks it back out. James out to Bosch. Lewis from the corner. 3 won't go. Rebound goes to Diaw. 7 seconds remain. Crowd urging him. Here comes Ginobili. Kicks it out. Green for 3. And over the backboard, and that will end the first half of game 1. LeBron James with 13 points to lead the Miami Heat. Tim Duncan, 6 of 7, 15 points to lead San Antonio. Meanwhile, Manu Ginobili really turned things around, came off the bench, and he's with Doris.
Manu, your aggression early was affecting this game. What were you seeking?
Just trying to play. Take whatever the defense gives me. I know I'm not going to have many open shots, but I did in the first half. They started going in, and then I started to fade out a little bit. We got to keep attacking.
How different is your mind from where it was a year ago?
Exactly the same.
Thank you. Mike.
All right, Doris. 11 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals for Manu Ginobili. Here in the first half off the bench. Sprint halftime report coming up. The gang here at the AT&T Center with their thoughts on the first half. Game 1 of the 2014 NBA Finals, a rematch from last year's thrilling 7-game series. Off to a good start. 2 quarters complete. Spurs by 5. Sprint halftime report after these messages.
The Nissan Pathfinder with intuitive 4-wheel drive an adventure worth sharing. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Touchdown. Every morning, 10 times, not just now and then. Once more on the rise, nuts to the flabby guys. Go, you chicken fat, go away. Go, you chicken fat, go. 1, 2, run like a tortoise. Okay. Now go up, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody sing. Go, you chicken fat. Dismiss.
When you're ready to turn up your night, turn to Bud Light Platinum, the next generation of smooth. Brewed with top-shelf ingredients for a bold, slightly sweet finish. Turn up your night and make it platinum.
There were times where it was a lot leaner, and I mean lean is an understatement. But we knew that if we stayed determined and if we could find the right tools, we're going to be a happy family. We'll be okay.
With American Express Serve, you have a full-service prepaid account that helps you handle your money simply and affordably, all for just $1 a month, backed by the 24/7 service of American Express. This is what membership is. This is what membership does.
Get started with an American Express Serve account today.
NBA TV is at the finals.
This is a championship team
Just gets it off the time, and he puts it in.
with a coach who knows how to prepare his troops.
The last two teams standards, right? Everything out there.
Comprehensive coverage before
One game on our home floor to bring home another championship.
and after every game.
You cannot ever doubt his greatness.
Exclusive insight
The challenge is simple.
and interviews.
You got to keep believing in yourself. It's a true testament of what type of team that we have.
Game time in the finals on NBA TV. Welcome to the Sprint Halftime Report.
And welcome inside a very warm AT&T Center. Bill Simmons, Doug Collins, Jalen Rose, I'm Sage Steele. We were going to have the guys go without their jackets here for the halftime show, but there's too much sweat.
Yeah, I'm
dripping
soaked through my shirt.
Oh my, I mean, no AC throughout the entire building. Who cares about us, Jalen? Does it affect the players at all?
It doesn't affect the players as much as people think. You grow up playing AAU basketball, summer league basketball, playing outside. These players are conditioned to play regardless as long as there's a basketball and two hoops.
Larry Bird laughs at the idea that this would affect the players.
As
Basketball.
he should, right? Okay, it is basketball. It is the finals. These guys are going at it. And oh, by the way, from the very beginning, look at how intense LeBron was pregame.
We put ourselves in a position to compete for what we want to get, dog. And we're here now. So make it count. This ain't game one for us. Every game is a game 7. Every game is a game 7 and treat it that way.
Every game is a game 7, and early on, they played that way, guys.
The Spurs were a little bit sloppy with the basketball, but you got to give the Heat credit. They were really active. Their hands getting deflections. The Spurs had 10 turnovers in the first half.
And then Doug Collins, when you see Manu Ginobili get going,
Yeah.
see the look on Doug's face.
Well, like I said, he makes them special. And I think what you saw, and Bill's going to talk about it, is just when that lineup goes small, how good they are.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why Splitter played that much in the first half. I think eventually it's going to gravitate toward what happened against OKC. You play Duncan or Splitter, but you don't play them together. They have real small ball advantages. And here's what scares me about Miami. I thought they played well that half. You know, that was their A game, and they have to have their A game. This isn't the Eastern Conference anymore. Spurs looking great.
I thought it was a critical move by Greg Popovich. 5:20 to go in the second quarter. Kawhi Leonard had 2 fouls, 42-38. I looked at Bill and I said, Leonard cannot get his 3rd foul here. Pop subbed him. He brought in Marco Bellinelli, who played well, had 8 points. He was able to ride out that half, so Leonard has 4 fouls now,
coming back in the second half to be able to play against LeBron. So I thought that was a really good move by Greg Popovich.
Miami, you got to feel good about who's playing well. They got 4 future Hall of Famers. They're all in double figures. That's only going to continue to grow. Now for the Spurs, I talked about their next 3, besides their original big 3, Diaw, along with Green and Leonard. They have combined 0 points. If one of those guys, if not 2 of those guys, don't get going, it may be a slow second half for the Spurs. But again, for the Heat, when you have Wade attacking, LeBron James being aggressive, Ray Allen knocking down open threes, all of a sudden the role players are going to get more room to operate.
Here's the problem for Miami. If this game is going to be in the hundreds every game, I don't think that's great for them. They're a team that likes to be careful. They don't like to put a lot of back and forth miles on their dudes. San Antonio loves this. They did this against Portland. They beat them playing this style that way. Against Dallas, they had to do it. Like, if this game's in the hundreds and everybody's making threes and all that, that favors San Antonio.
Doug, then what adjustments does Eric Spoelstra make?
Oh, he's got to talk about the turnovers. Jay talked about that. They had 9 turnovers, 12 points. So that's made way too much on the road. Secondly, they got to do a better job of running the Spurs off the three-point line. I know it's easier said than done, especially when the Spurs go to the smaller lineup, but they had 7 threes in that first half. They will not win the game if they turn the ball over and they don't do a better job of closing out on the three-point shooters. And you can see the spacing of the floor. When Diaw was on the floor with Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and a big, they went wherever they wanted to go, and Ginobili played, Bellinelli played very well off the bench.
But the adjustment's going to be to play Boris Diaw to pass. But Tim Duncan, 6 or 7 down low, he has to continue to pound off.
Still a good matchup for them.
As you said, though, Miami not playing badly at all. 4 players in double figures, including, of course, LeBron James. 5 of 9. He's got 13 points to lead the way for Miami. But right now, they are down 5 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ABC.
The Sprint Halftime Report, brought to you by Sprint. Add more people to your Sprint family, and everyone saves. Happy connecting from Sprint.
Welcome to the family, Dad.
I've been hearing good things about Sprint's new network.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Fewer drop calls, better call quality.
It's fast, right?
Ils ont un tout nouveau réseau LTE avec un spectre tri-bande.
You can also text.
Yes, you can also text.
It's Trey Good.
Okay, I don't know where to go with that.
Join America's newest network, now with faster speeds, fewer drop calls, and better call quality. And for a limited time, get a switching bonus worth up to $650. Happy connecting from Sprint.
Is your morning trying to tell you something?
Maybe we should have gotten him one.
Sweet, creamy, iced coffee from McDonald's. Another reason to love McCafe.
Pennzoil has reimagined a motor oil made from natural gas, proven to keep pistons cleaner than any leading synthetic, helping to protect against the loss of fuel economy. Designed for complete protection, born from natural gas. Pennzoil Platinum with Pure Plus technology. Motor oil reimagined.
Drive into a participating Jiffy Lube and earn big savings with a Pennzoil Platinum oil change.
Try the new Sprite 6 Mix for a twist of natural cherry and orange flavors.
From the moment Clifford Paul created the assist, his legacy lived on, both in his smile and in his style. From one generation to the next, State Farm agents never cease to assist you. That's getting to a better state.
We know. Another music competition? But this one is a game changer. 3 stories tall, 90 feet wide, and 300 million Americans have the power to raise this wall live. TV's first truly interactive music competition.
What if God was one of us? a judge.
I'm a judge. I'm a judge on Rising Star.
Where you make or break a dream in an instant.
We vote.
We vote.
We decide.
We decide.
We raise the bar. Live television will never be the same. Rising Star premieres Sunday, June 22nd on ABC.
X Games Austin is in full swing. Friday night, we kick things off with Moto X Best Whip and Step Up. Then it's Bob Burnquist versus Elliott Sloan in the skateboard Big Air Final. Catch all the action 8 p.m. on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Sprint Halftime Report. It's time for the crossover, brought to you by Sprint.
Danny Green, San Antonio Spurs. And I like animals, like being around them. Animals are very different. Some, very cunning, fast, slow, big. Some guys are slashers, some guys are perimeter, some guys, are physical, some guys are not. And animals are like that as well. When you're on the field, court, stage, you have to be a different person. There's a off the court Danny and there's a, on the court Danny. But off the court, I'm definitely more laid back. On the court Danny is more aggressive, a little bit more cocky. Once the ball goes up, no longer friends anymore.
To get more untold NBA player stories, visit sprint.com/NBA.
You know who out on the court warming up for the second half. Ray Allen, one of 4 players in double figures. He had 10 in the first half.
Better be warming up, and he got game. Denzel wasn't having that.
Mike, Mark, and Doris back with the second half. Enjoy it.
The Sprint Halftime Report, brought to you by Sprint. Add more people to your Sprint family, and everyone saves. Happy connecting from Sprint. This presentation of the NBA Finals will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Hey, Mom, can Kevin Durant join our Sprint family plan?
Sure, the more people we add, the more we save. Hi, Kevin Durant.
Well, what do you say, KD? You want to be part of my family?
I would love to join, but I can't.
Why not?
Because I'm not really here. You're dreaming.
I'm dreaming?
Yep.
Join a Sprint family for as low as $25 a month, and for a limited time, get a switching bonus worth up to $650. Happy connecting from Sprint.
ABC. This country was built by working people.
The economy needs manufacturing.
Machines, tools, people making stuff.
Companies have to invest in making things. Infrastructure, construction, production.
We need it now more than ever.
Chevron's putting more than $8 billion back in the U.S. economy this year. In pipes, cement, steel, jobs, energy.
We need to get the wheels turning.
I'm proud of that. Making real things.
For real.
That make a real difference.
You finally got your nightclub.
The truth.
It's fantasy.
You still haven't told me how you made this happen.
He's one of the most notorious drug traffickers in our hemisphere.
I just wanted to stay this way.
I won't be a drug dealer if I ever die.
Priceless.
Love is the dream. We can get out.
Toyotas have long been known as dependable, but today there is an entirely new energy, inspired by bold design, with stunning interiors and fresh new technology. This is the new Toyota.